Greetings, everyone in the Emperor-loving Imperium. In a most dramatic, bold, and incredible stroke of genius on my part, I have accepted the challenge of this odious Xenos.
Oh, this wasn't a challenge. This was an invitation. I was hoping we'd be able to exchange some ideas and gain some insight into each other's cult.
This miserable blue-skinned menace has sought to undermine the Imperium at every turn, selling his ideological cancer, the so-called greater good, which is nothing more than a nicer word for surrender. Surrender to the aliens. Surrender to their corrupt ways. Do as you're told, and everything will be fine. Blind obedience is what we want from you. Obey, obey, obey.
Um, isn't blind obedience considered a virtue within the Imperium?
And there you have it, folks, the grand admission. Blind obedience to the Emperor is a virtue. And you just heard him admit it. These Xenos seek to supplant the very Emperor himself in our hearts.
Well, this already isn't going the way I had planned, but welcome everyone. I am Kev'aun Jones, ethereal of Sept Ormuz.
And I am Adrian Pius, voice of the Imperium, and I am here to crush the alien in a glorious intellectual crusade with facts and logic.
Well, sort of. We're having a debate today. What was supposed to be, as I mentioned before, a respectful discussion and an exchange of ideas. But I don't think that's happening.
An open mind is fertile ground for heresy.
Well, we actually sent out the word to you, our listeners, both listeners of the Kev'aun Jones show and the Adrian Pius show, and we asked you all for questions. And we have selected the best questions, and we're going to give our opinions on each one. Oh, Kristen is shaking her head. Why are you shaking your head, Kristen? She's just sighing. She's sighing and she's shuffling through her papers. I don't know if we're going to get very many good questions.
Well, you're also, everyone, you're welcome to ask new questions. If you give a small donation to help the Adrian Pius show stay on the air, preferably if you could figure out a way to take money away from this thing, this blue thing. But we guarantee your question will be answered on the air if you give a donation. And the sacred truth of the Imperium will be mercilessly laid down upon the weak, dithering words of the aliens.
I really wish you wouldn't try to influence the listeners by framing my comments in such a way that before we've even started,
dithering, alien lies and dithering.
I hate that people genuinely find this sort of thing convincing. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see who's here. We have 12 people listening, so at least some people are interested in a fair exchange of ideas.
12, ha! That's nothing to the normal numbers that I pull in on a weekly basis. I'm used to hundreds, thousands, millions, if not billions of people listening to the Adrian Pius show.
I think I'm here saying that your peak concurrent views were, looks like 32? 32, is that correct?
Outrageous lies.
Well, let's not focus so much on the lies, and let's see who's all here. Looks like we have Humius here.
Eric Rayner, a stalwart supporter of the Imperium, no doubt.
Scroll Keeper. Let's see. Rose Spark is also here.
Fat Man and Pop.
We also have Old Man Skeletal.
Requiem Lull.
Oh, and Maximum Effort, good to see you here. And I think that's everyone what we have for the moment. Let's see. We have a couple of questions coming in chat, but let's go ahead and start with the questions that were posted earlier. We actually asked for questions from people, and Kristen once again is shaking her head.
Yeah, Pat's also not looking so positive about this. I thought your girl was shaking her head because they were all going to favor me, but now Pat's not looking so hot.
Oh, look, we have Zachary Weaver and A-O-E-O-E-O-E-I-E-I-O. Welcome, everyone. All right. So we're going to start with the questions that we had been asked earlier. Looks like we got quite a number of questions from Eric Rayner. But let's start at the first one. This one is from Humius. This is the earliest. No, actually, Soulkeeper sent us the first one. But let's start with Soulkeeper, I guess. The Tau waifus versus Tyranid waifus versus Slaaneshi waifus. Who is the best to date?
Is this? I assume this is one of your listeners.
No, I swear, no one has asked this question before. Tau waifus, Tyranid waifus, Slaaneshi waifus. Who is the best to date? Well, I sort of have an easy answer to this. Tau I believe waifu is a sort of idealized female, generally given features that appeal to a certain kind of degenerate basement-dwelling human, usually who has not had any success in mating with any one of their own species. So they've taken these different archetypes, so to speak, and are idealizing them. And I suppose if I have to idealize one of them or have one tailored to the needs of the many, I think Tau waifus would be the most appropriate. It's not the sort of propaganda I prefer to use. I enjoy using an intellectual appeal and an emotional appeal. I prefer not to appeal to the lowest common denominator, but whatever gets them in the door, we'll work from there. Let's get them in the greater good, and then we'll see where we go from there.
And here you see it, the degenerate march towards ruination on the part of the Tau, because as you can see, he says, well, of course, my people, and of course, this is just a bias. This is just Tau propaganda. You have being eaten, and you have your soul being eaten, and you have just pleasant submission to the alien. This is ridiculous. I reject this question. I say burn them all. I say the only waifus are imperial waifus. We have the Sisters of Battle. We have the Sisters of Silence, Saint Celestine. We have plenty of excellent women who serve in the Imperial Guard. And let me tell you, there are many of them that are easier on the eyes and easier on the soul and easier on the physical form of the body than these disgusting Xenos and heretic fantasies.
Well, I have to admit that wasn't the best question either, and I do apologize for selecting that one to be the first one.
Give me that. I'll read the next one. All right. What is this? A rainbow war boss with all the shiny bestest guppets versus a Umi Crumpstodes.
You're gonna have to explain to me what that one even means. I'm not I'm not understanding this one. Um. I think this is an orc, and and my orc is not. I'm not very well versed in it because they're not very good at negotiating or coming to any kind of agreement. But I think what he's asking is who would win in a fight. A war boss painted with all of the different colors, giving him the benefits, the different superstitious benefits of all these different colors, to fight against a human custodes. Um, I think it would take an awfully remarkable war boss to be able to take on a custodes, given that they have superior weaponry and armor for the most part. Um, unclear for me, but I would guess the custodes. Um, but he also has all the best gubbins. That's uh, the best armament that the orcs can provide.
Anything that the Xenos throws, it's something as amazing as a custodes handcrafted by the Emperor himself. Uh, is going to win. I don't care how it goes. The war unless the custodes does not have a name, in which case he might be the one that goes down in to prop up this named war boss who's a terrible threat or something. But unlikely. I think that's ridiculous. Um,
Well, we're certainly getting interesting questions. Oh, looks like we have a donation from Maximum Effort. I do thank you for supporting the Voxcast. Thank you very much. Oh, looks like we have one from a Vespid. Interesting. Go ahead.
Vespid here. How do the Imperium and Tau respond to rumors of the Tau brainwashed leaders of my race?
Oh, I have not heard of those reports, but I would hope that they were not true. There are certainly cases of abuse within the Tau Empire, people using technology inappropriately or trying to achieve some political goal through underhanded means. But I have not heard of such an extent that the entire reason that the Vespids would have joined the greater good was through coercion. That doesn't seem correct.
And here we have just more evidence of the Tau corruption, brainwashing. To think that anyone would stoop to brainwashing.
Don't isn't everyone in the Imperium brainwashed? Isn't conditioning a standard part of Space Marine training, and it's part of being a citizen? It's part of being the Imperial Guard. Isn't that just what everyone is exposed to?
I will not hear lies or truths come from the mouths of aliens. We're not discussing this.
Okay. Well, let's set that aside for the moment. But if that is the case, I will look into it and ensure that such a thing is not the case. And we're gonna pepper in. We have a lot of questions from Eric Rayner, so we're gonna let's take the heat off a little bit, and let's answer a question for both candidates. We're not candidates. He says for both candidates. We're not running for anything. We're both Vox hosts, and we're just trying to inform and educate and express our opinions and really come to understand each other.
That is not what I'm here for. I'm here to prove the alien wrong.
Well, I suppose that's something to learn from the Imperium. All right, let's get actually to the question. Question for both of us. What is your favorite takeout / fast food? Could you combine two types? What would they be? Okay, well, I very much enjoy um, a small, a pretty popular chain in the Tao Empire called the Greater Goods. And we have, you're able to kind of get a little bit of food from every single one of the vast array of cultures that inhabit the Greater Good. We have Guelan Guevesa foods, we have Vespid foods, there's Tao foods. Um, they don't serve crude food since most things are crude food. Um, but there is sort of an effort to kind of integrate a lot of different kinds of food, and I really enjoy that. I also must say that give a little bit. I'll offer an olive branch to the Imperium. I very much do enjoy uh, the Emperor's Pizza Palace. I have been very happy with their deliveries to my sept. Um, the 20 tons of pizza that we've ordered were very satisfactory. Delivered in a stasis field, so that when we opened it up, they were piping hot and ready to eat. Um, I burned my tongue a little bit, but that's okay. Um, all right, so that's a nice softball question. What about you?
I only eat food that is sent from that is within the Imperium, of course. We're Emperor's Pizza Palace. Maybe that's the one thing. Someone asked, "What is one thing that you agree on?" Well, we can all agree the Emperor's Pizza Palace is one of the finest uh, establishments for food. If you ever need a bite to eat, the family's a little hungry, you really need food quickly, and you need delivered pronto. Call the Emperor's Pizza Palace. They promise to deliver your food within 3 decades or less, or your money back. They have the fastest network of astropaths and who plow the Empyrean, able to make deliveries. They keep them in stasis until they are released, and you then have the freshest, finest Imperial pizza that money can buy. Emperor's Pizza Palace. They paid me to say this, so I said it.
Oh, well, I guess that is something we agree on. Okay, let's. All the rest of the questions all appear to be from Eric Rayner. Um, so why don't we'll alternate a little bit. We'll see who else has some questions. Um, let's take a look. Do you think the ethereal should negotiate with Gilliman? In my case, I'm given that the Guela have come to a peace agreement with at least one Eldar faction. I don't know how long that truce is going to be able to hold out, but the fact that someone as high up in the Imperial organization has come to a relatively long-term cessation of violence shows that there can be some progress made diplomatically. So I'm encouraged by that.
Look, Gilliman is one of the Emperor's sons, and he remained loyal, and we respect him for that. But I think that everyone's getting carried away. That there's one instance of in the most desperate hour of briefly uh, dealing with the Xenos to deal with a much greater threat. And you know what? If he hadn't come back and things hadn't been stopped, who knows where we would have been? So in that, I am not one for letting the Tau get their mitts on anything. I think it'd be easier just to wipe them out. Negotiating with the Tau is more trouble than they're worth. Wipe them out. One less thing to worry about.
Well, that's not very encouraging. All right, we have maximum effort coming back on. Um, here we have maximum effort. This does not appear to be a Vesprid. I wonder if maximum effort is an organization that's collecting questions. If so, I appreciate that, and I appreciate their support. All right, so we have go right ahead. Kev'aun, you previously said people who dislike the Tau railguns to go cry about it. Do you continue to support that belief? Oh, yes, very much so. When we're able to produce a piece of superior technology that cannot be contended with, and the other races cry foul, I point to the entire history of the galaxy of war is not fair, and war is won by the winners, and sometimes the winners are the ones with the biggest guns.
I think it is cowardly, utterly cowardly, to use big guns that shoot from a really far way away. I'd exterminatus anyone who disagreed with me.
Okay. All right, we have another question. We have from Zachary Weaver. Do we agree that Nomanicus is the greatest space marine of our time? Oh, I think that Nomanicus is the greatest space marine of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Nomanicus is the most amazing, handsome, skilled, peerless space marine that has ever existed. I mean, is there anything Nomanicus can't do?
Oh yeah, if Nomanicus said the word, I think we would just dismantle the Tau Empire and follow his example. But he says we're blue and lame, but he kind of thinks everyone is lame.
Oh yeah. Compared to Nomanicus, I'm super lame, and you know what? Every single canon character it will say the same thing.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. Everyone in the No Man universe knows how cool Nomanicus is.
Absolutely. There's no one cooler than Nomanicus. No one fights better than Nomanicus. No one's a stronger psyker than Nomanicus. No one can make the Chaos Gods cry uncle like Nomanicus.
Yes, and I also heard that he is quite the gamer.
Yeah, he's incredible. He had a 1v5 complete total outplay where he was on a 10 kill streak. He was just knocking them down right and left. He's the only one to have a 100% win streak across just everything. He's just a winner among winners.
Oh my goodness! We have just gotten a most generous donation from someone simply called Man.
I have to admit, I didn't believe this, but oh my goodness, if it was this lucrative to cavort with Xenos, well, my goodness, maybe this was something I should have done sooner.
All right. Well, let's go right ahead. Man, you have the floor. Ask your question.
There are 4 people tied to a trolley track, and 1 person tied to a second at a rail crossing with a trolley speeding towards the 4-person track. You can pull the lever and switch the track, but it will kill the single man. There is a heretic among the 4. Do you pull the lever?
Oh, absolutely, I do not pull the lever at all. There is one heretic among the 4? Absolutely. Annihilate them. That way we eliminate that heretic. Absolutely worth it. Because the seeds of heresy spread. Killing one heretic can save the lives of an entire system. The heretic always go.
Well, I think the question for me would be a little different since we do not view heresy the same way. We do have a freedom of religion within the Tao. As long as people are abiding by the laws, we do allow people to practice as they see fit. Though obviously worshiping demons or trying to summon chaotic powers is a little bit of a different. But let's say that we have let's say that that's the person who's on the 4-person track. I would say if they're a follower of some sort of chaotic entity or some very destructive force, I would have to say that you let the 4 die, because it's too much of a danger if they're worshiping demons. Because they're going to kill if they actually succeed in their goals. They're going to kill so many people. They could pull an entire planetary system into the warp. It could be extremely dangerous. We don't want anything being converted into demon worlds. However, if it is just if it is 4 people versus 1 people, and one of the people has had a lesser violation of the thought laws in the Tau Empire, then I would say probably we pull this lever and unfortunately kill 1, with the hopes of saving 3 good and loyal citizens, and possibly sending the 4th to re-education to make sure that they are not believing in dangerous ideologies and different thoughts like that.
It looks like we have quite a few saying they want to kill all of them. I'm not killing a loyal citizen of the Imperium. I think that seems like an orc answer.
Yeah, I would say that if maybe this is the other thing we agree with. If it's orcs, yes, they would want to kill as many people as possible. I would think. Drukhari as well. All right. Looks like we have another donation. So I want to absolutely praise Man for the large donation. It very much helps with keeping us on the air.
Yes, absolutely. It's another thing we could agree on. That's a few more things that we can agree on that make me a little nervous. But Man is in fact the man.
I don't think that's in doubt. I do believe that his species is human. Okay. So we have Rose Spark coming in. Let's go ahead.
Basilisk, out of range, railguns, destroying them before they shoot you. Also, why Tau take planet by force?
Well, obviously, when it comes to just weapons mounted to our armored vehicles or to other sort of weapon systems, yes, there are different weapons that can shoot farther, but the Basilisk is an unguided artillery system. It is not very accurate. It's a give and take. We also have longer range precision munitions that can also deal with some of that as well. And as far as why do we take planets by force, the answer is simple. We occasionally run across violent, resistant planets who are not receptive to the greater good. They don't want to trade. They will attack and harass our shipping, and so we will invade and install proper governance. There's also planets that are just not run well, that are run by tyrants, and so if we deem that they are not able to exist alongside the greater good, or be at least somewhat accepting of us, then it is better for them to be incorporated in. All right, we have Maximum Effort donating again. Thank you very much.
No, you read the last one. I want to read this one.
I don't think I read the last one.
Yeah. Actually, maximum effort. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is there one species in the galaxy that both of you agree should be exterminated? I'm partial to orcs myself. They bully Vespids like myself.
Well, orcs I'd get rid of. I think there's and every species other than humans. Like, so if there's, I suppose that if there's any that Blue Boy here wants to eliminate, I guess that would be a point of commonality.
I wish we didn't have to say with complete absolutes that we would exterminate all the species, but I would say probably, yeah, orcs. Orcs are kind of just trouble. They're the only thing good about orcs is that they fight other things as well. But hitting an orc wall hitting a sept is devastating. It's very difficult to stop an orc wall. There's simply too many. I would say probably that I don't think there's a disagreement about the Tyranids. If they could be eliminated, I think that would be better. And as awful as the I think it would probably be better if all of the Drukhari were wiped out. But there are Drukhari who have decided on a different course. There's a lot of Drukhari that have joined. I don't know a whole lot about the cult, but there's the cult of Ynead. And if they're willing to change and pursue kind of their own salvation through a different path, well, maybe there's some of them that don't need to be wiped out, but and on the whole, probably the Drukhari as well. I think if they were just eliminated, that would be a net benefit. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can go back to some questions from Eric Rayner. We'll get through. We'll kind of swap back and forth between questions from the Vox feed, and we'll see if we can keep getting questions from Eric Rayner as well. All right, so Eric has a question for both of us. What would your plan be to get rid of chaos in the galaxy?
Well, mostly it's going to be kill everyone, kill all of the heretics, kill all of the Xenos, kill everyone who harbors these chaos thoughts, and that'll eliminate it. That'll solve the problem. If everyone that's bad is dead, problem solved.
Well, I think that the existence of chaos as it exists today is the result of some deep psychological scarring on the part of many different sentient species in the galaxy. All of this trauma and misery and war really feeds into chaos and into all of the different negative emotions that feed the various chaos entities. And really, if we had a more positive attitude, if we turned our frowns upside down, I think we could have a more we would have a much more calm Empyrean, and that would slowly start to change the landscape of the warp, and hopefully change the nature of the entities living there. If we are feeding more positive emotions instead of all the negative ones.
Wishy-washy Xenos nonsense.
All right. Well, why don't you take this one?
Oh, I want this one. This one's a question to me. To Adrian, what Imperium candy or chocolate do you enjoy? That's a very good question. I am very much a supporter of Adrian Pius chocolate candy treats. It's a variety of candy bars and candy-like objects that are great for the kids. They're great for adults. They're great for anyone who's got a bit of a sweet tooth. And they're all very reasonably priced, and they support me, Adrian Pius. Adrian Pius chocolates and candies trademark Adrian Pius. By buying them, you not only support me, you support the Imperium, because, as you all know, I am the voice of the Imperium.
All right, let's take a look at Zachary Weaver. He's got a question for us. What are your thoughts on violent video games? Okay, I have my thoughts, and I've seen some of what my research is. And actually, what has been shown to be true is that violent video games don't increase violent tendencies.
And quite frankly, that's a problem with them. We've gone through great lengths to create combat simulators to encourage people to take up arms and fight the good fight, but it's found to be ineffective.
Yes, maybe this is something else we agree on, but essentially, video games in general tend to make sentient species more passive. So we have been using video games delivering like Tau Blaster and Jump Tau and Vespid Flyer and Crootman. All of these different video games we have been exporting to our various colonies and our trading partners to really encourage this sort of passivity and this sort of more passive, accepting lifestyle. We really want to encourage that. It really makes people more open to our way of thinking.
So yeah, for me, I'm saying no to violent video games because they discourage violence. We don't need a more passive Imperium. We need active. We need fighting. We need fighting for people who aren't me. I'm already doing my duty. I'm speaking the truth and rallying everyone to do their duty as citizens of the Imperium. Citizens of the Imperium.
Okay, let's see. We have Lorenzo. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, it's not a question. Where is the question that he's answering? So Lorenzo said the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is in his starties with a chainsword. Oh, all right. Well, this will be an interesting one. What do you two think of Commander Farsight? Okay. I guess my answer's the most complicated. And I think that Commander Farsight is a very unfortunate case of frustration. It's something I think is somewhat akin to why many humans tend to turn to chaos or turn traitor. Is frequently they don't feel that they're being appreciated or supported by their government or by other leaders, and that seemed to be the case for Commander Farsight, that he wanted to take certain actions militarily, and that was then not supported, that it was deemed either to be too dangerous or they didn't like the idea or whatever have you. And in reaction to this, he then started his own heavily armed enclave with fire warriors. And he, I don't deny that he is a brave and dynamic leader, and probably would do better to have his military doctrine be what guides the Tau Empire. So I suppose his loss is a great tragedy, but I think he's made a terrible mistake going on to form the enclaves, because he's ended up weakening both the Tau Empire and himself by him being isolated, and then by us losing a good leader. So it is unfortunate.
This Commander Farsight, I assume he's a Tau?
Yes, he is Tau.
I can kill him. I don't care. He's a Tau. So we don't need to discuss this.
Of course, we need to discuss this. This is a debate.
You're having a debate. I am speaking the truth. and annihilate them.
All right, let's take a look. See if we got. Let's go back to Eric Rayner. We'll do two because he has a couple that are just for us. We'll start with you. I'll read Eric Rayner's question to you and see what you have to say. So, question for Adrian Pius: if you could exterminate all xeno species in the galaxy under the condition one xeno species would somehow always exist, would you do it? If yes, what species would you choose to survive?
If I could exterminate all xeno species in the galaxy under the condition that one xeno species would somehow always exist. All right, yes, I would do it. And the xeno species that I would want to always exist would be one of the ones that that are like footnotes in history. Like I don't know, the Hrud or whatever. Any one of the lesser xeno species that hasn't been wiped out somehow. What are the weird monkey guys? What are they called? What are they called? The Jokaro, sure, them. Whatever. Why not them? If they gotta exist, let's keep them in small numbers. Jericho. Someone saying Jericho. Who said Dark Eldar?
Yeah, I must admit, if we were to wipe out one, I think most species would be. I think that would be one thing that would unite every single one of the species. Is let's destroy the Dark Eldar. I don't even think the Dark Eldar like themselves very much.
I don't like how much we're agreeing on that, but all right. Here's let's get back to the questions because the other half of that question was to you. Gingers, humans with no soul. Are they treated better than the usual waifus? Can you see a ginger being treated on equal terms with any Tau caste, even ethereals?
Well, I think that Wela and Waifus are all have their own roles to play in our society. And when it comes to the constituent races of the Tau Empire, usually we let the humans kind of rule themselves under the auspices of Aunva and under the auspices of the ethereals of each sept, but they are somewhat they're not completely autonomous, but they are given a great deal of freedom to govern themselves, again under the auspices and watchful eye of the ethereals, under the Aun, under Aunva, to make sure that what they believe is correct and that they are united to the principles of the greater good. As far as humans with no souls, generally speaking, it's a little bit so the thing about Tau is we do not have very strong psychic presences. My understanding is that blanks are humans that quote unquote have no souls, make other humans feel uneasy and that sort of thing. And we can't feel it. Like we don't, if it's there, it's so very subtle. We don't notice it. So I wouldn't be surprised. So we can't tell unless a human tells us that this person is a blank or that they don't have a soul. But I have found that they generally want to be. They prefer the company of the Tau because most humans around them are miserable. They're uneasy. They're unhappy. They're kind of on edge. They're also dangerous for psychers. We don't have any psychers, and they could be very useful for managing the psyker population as more and more humans get incorporated into the Tau Empire, and we have to kind of cope with the dangers of the dangers of psychers, and incorporating blanks or giving them kind of special status could be helpful. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've also noticed that we have 26 people in the Vox feed, which is good.
As I said, it's nothing compared to my peak viewership.
Yes, but if you are in right now, we do ask that you like the Voxcast. So if you can like the Voxcast, that really helps us spread the word. I really want to get the word of the greater good out there.
And I want to tell everyone how stupid the greater good is, how much of a pack of lies it is. So you like this Vox feed so I can shout more and tell everyone why this Xenos is wrong and disgusting.
Okay. I'm very excited about this question. Natalie sends a question. What are your opinions on Nomanicus, the greatest hero of the Imperium?
Oh, I was hoping that we'd get to discuss Nomanicus again.
Nomanicus? I was so jealous because Nomanicus had a birthday party. He had a birthday party in which every planet in the Imperium celebrated it, and I really wanted to go. I really wanted to go because Nomanicus is so cool, but he didn't invite me. He said I was too much of a nerd.
Yeah, I really wish I was invited too. Like, I guess, Nomanicus is friends with like the coolest people in the Imperium. He's like pals with the Emperor. He's pals with Marnius Calgar and Rabute Gilliman. He knows all of the Primarchs, even the ones that are dead. They all think he's really cool. The Lion woke up briefly when Nomanicus was on the rock, and like shook his hand and said, "Man, Nomanicus, you're really cool."
Yeah, I just can't understate how cool Nomanicus is. All right, we have another question. What are our thoughts on plain old No Man?
No Man is I don't he writes some good stuff on the greatness of the Imperium, but he has this corrupting idea that different points of view should be shown, and which of course is lies and slander, and you can't make everyone look good. You have to make us look good. The Imperium, the Space Marines, they're the ones that are supposed to be good, and I don't like all these other stories that give attention to Xenos nonsense.
Well, I think No Man does try to present a lot of different points of view, not all of which are congruent with the greater good. So I can't approve of everything, but I do appreciate some of his positive looks on the Tau. Though he has recently made fun of our national anthem, and I'm less enthused about that. So mixed bag. This No Man guy, I would say.
I think he's a traitor and a coward, and should be lined up with everyone else.
All right. Let's see. Shall we do another? Let's do another question. Let's do another question. We have one for Kev'aun. That's me, and one for Adrian. Let's start with one for you. Question for Adrian: when you see a commercial for your Voxcast on the Imperial Web, when can we I think it means when can we see a commercial for your Voxcast on the Imperial Web? Rumor has it has a nice image of you floating around Redditorius, part of the web. Yes, I think I've heard of this.
Yes, indeed. If you go to let me see if I can pull it up. If you go to the No Man 40K, let me see if I can pull this up. No Man 40K. There might be. See if I can find it. There is artwork of me, Adrian. There we are. I'll pull it up. I'll post it. I'll post it in the Vox feed. Here we go. It's too late. Aha! I did it before Eric Rayner. Ah, way too slow. Way too slow. But that is me, Adrian Pius, portrait taken for advertising the Adrian Pius show. Of course, I think obviously they captured my very handsome appearance. The purity seal just looks amazing. And that is just my glorious visage for everyone to see. So I very much appreciate that. Okay. So yes, that wasn't really a question. That was more Eric Rayner advertising his own art. So if you want, you can. Anyone who wants to message Eric Rayner, he does also have his own YouTube channel. You can pester him on there, which is right here. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. I'll get this to work. It's right there. He is currently also working on a video, an animatic for the 20,000th subscriber extravaganza for No Man. So that'll be exciting when that gets finished. And he also had a question for me. Let's see. When a Tau catches cold, what ways do they have for preventing snot getting into their eyes? Essentially, what we end up having to do is, if we're sick, we of course will take medicine, and usually we rest and we have sort of like a cool like towel that will rest over our heads, and we'll take anti-decongestants as well. So we're mostly lying down. We're not letting it we're not walking around while sick. I mean, if you're sick, you should be in bed resting. You shouldn't be running around doing things. Obviously, you'll get everyone else sick. All right, we have. Oh, looks like we have our Vespid friend coming in. Oh, look, he's posting a crudely drawn. Look, it's. Wait a minute. I don't know if I appreciate this. This is. It appears he's drawn to you, and me, and we're. I think I would be comfortable with calling that heresy. Heresy of the highest order. Yes, I think we're going to have to send some fire warriors, and we're gonna recover. We're gonna send some law enforcement and have a discussion with this Vespid about appropriate expressions and not slandering prominent ethereals such as myself. Okay. Now let's. I'm gonna remove that from my brain. Yeah, me too. That was disgusting. Let's move on to we have. It looks like we have a message from an orc. Okay, go right ahead. We the strangers to war. There's no rules, and so do I. For God the Beatles, what I'm fighting of. Never gonna give you some. All right, I think that's quite enough of that. Did we just get Rick rolled or rock rolled? I suppose if it orc rolled. That has been around for millennia at this point.
I think we're getting a little bit off of off topic here. Look, we're here to have questions, and if you all are going to donate and have your questions asked, we're happy to do that. But posting lewd artwork or pranking us is completely uncalled for. All right, we have BGC Vatan coming in. Go ahead. While I'm Cyrus aligned, I'm with Kev'aun on this one. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the donation, and I appreciate your vote of confidence. All right.
Oh, it looks like we have another. This one is we got Dark Eldar coming in. All right, let's hear what you have to do.
Hello, doing some shopping for tonight's wine, and I wanted some recommendations on what mortal soul to use. I've heard good things about Tau souls. No. You have not heard good things about our souls. Our souls are weak. They don't provide much nourishment. You really should spend time tormenting others. So we're yeah. All right. So here's an actual question. Oh, we have a couple extra questions. Can Tau drink human alcoholic beverages? We can. They tend to have a stronger effect on us as we are not quite as robust as humans. But yes, they do have an effect on us. Some of us have a very violent. It is not a substance that is legal for Tau to consume, and there's ongoing legislation and discussion on what legal limits of alcohol should be in human domains. So,
all right, moving on. Thoughts on rolling blackouts, aka power outages that happen on a weekly or daily basis?
They're bad. They shouldn't happen. Power is important to be able to maintain our defenses.
Yeah, I want to be able to continue to Voxcast. I need things to be. I need the lights to be on, and I appreciate all the donations that go towards that. All right, looks like we have your bug boys back.
Sorry. All right, it's okay. We will take into consideration that you have donated, and you have made a public apology for the slanderous images that you've produced. So that will contribute to judgment passed on your buggy little head. Okay. Looks like Hawkins is here with chili. Hopefully, anyone that's listening will be able to enjoy the chili. Oh, also, there is a thing. For those of you that are interested in continuing civilized debate in the future, I do recommend going and checking out our Discord, where we continue to have. That's the link in the Discord in the Vox feed. I don't know what's going on, but you mentioned having a cold, and I'm now getting a lot of irritation in my nose for some reason.
Yeah, me as well. Odd that both of us would suddenly have irritation at the exact same time.
I'm not sure what it is, but I just got sort of a sharp smell in my nose, kind of a caustic kind of thing. And I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully, we'll keep going, and if it gets worse, I might have to stop, but I'll keep going as long as I can.
Same here. If my voice gives out, we might have to cut this short. But Lorenzo's coming in. Good donation. Go ahead, Lorenzo.
Yeah, is there any truth to the rumors of Tau turning on their human allies? One pilot stating the greater good has been sullied by your superstitious nature. What exactly happened to the Fourth Sphere expedition? I appreciate the inquiry about the Fourth Sphere expedition. Unfortunately, we don't have any data. We don't have anything that has been cleared to be discussed publicly. There's an ongoing investigation, and we want to be sure of what happens before we recklessly put something out that is incorrect.
Yeah, it seems like you got something you're hiding there, a little pal, a little bit of a dirty laundry you're hiding there.
I prefer to think of it as we're being careful. All right, we have Nick Fulton. Go ahead, Nick Fulton. Error. This device is not fixed for Chile. I think we've gotten a long way away from the debate that was supposed to be happening.
Yeah, I think we're kind of getting off the rails. But I think it's pretty clear that I have utterly defeated this rather disgusting, pathetic, Xenos and proved the superiority of mankind.
I don't think you did all that much. I think you yelled a lot and made a lot of declarations. We also do still have a couple more Eric Rayner questions. The other ones aren't. I guess there's one that's about the color of Tau blood. Tau blood is green. It's sort of like the way human blood is red, but with your skin, it sort of changes the way the color looks. It's sort of, you have the reddish tinge of the blood, but if you have some of the darker pigmentation, it's less easy to see. The same thing for Tau. Our blood is in fact green, but because of the way the layers of skin work, it ends up making our skin have a bluish tinge. All right, we have another one coming in. Go ahead.
Oh, puny morsels wanted chili fries. Well, I may or may not have made it vegan.
Get out of the chili pot, chicken head. I think we have very, 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 very much gone off the rails. I definitely appreciate the support, but I think we're getting confusing Vox casts. Getting mixed into this feed.
Yes, I think we very much have. All right, we got the one more Eric Rayner question. Oh, here's a good one. Here's the real question: which one of you is taller? I am taller in spirit.
I'm very clearly taller than you. You can see by our pictures that I'm taller.
Yours is, look at where we're sitting at the table. I'm clearly zoomed farther out.
No, I'm taller. I'm an ethereal. We're kind of tall, and you're actually a little bit shorter than an average human.
Ridiculous slander, and ridiculous slander.
Now we got some more questions. Should Tau be given warp drives? Will it help or hurt the Imperium or Empire more? Well, I know that the fast and light travel of the humans is highly, highly dangerous. It allows them to have a large Imperium, but there are definite downsides to having this large, sprawling empire, and also that using a very dangerous method of travel. So I don't know if we want it if we couldn't find a better and safer way of doing things.
I say don't give them anything. Our way of humans doing things is clearly superior, is better, and I'm not about to share technology with these backwards, ignorant Tau.
We have better technology than you do. The only thing you have that's better than us are things that you don't understand how they work anymore.
Lies and slander. We know everything. We're very smart.
Okay. All right. We have another from Maximum Effort. Go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors. Winner wins the debate. Buzz.
All right. Here we are. I would rather not submit to rock, paper, scissors. It's a rather. Well,
here we go. I guess you're a coward. Ready?
I suppose we're doing it. Ready?
Rock,
Paper,
scissors.
shoot.
Haha, good old rock. That always wins.
I clearly threw paper.
Ow!
Ow! He just punched me right in the face.
Rock always wins. If rock doesn't win at first, more rock.
Oh, all right. I have been struck in the face. Ooh. And okay. I think we're just about done here, but we do have some more donations. Another one from Nick Fulton. Go ahead.
Look, it's easy to admit what you are as long as you worship the Emperor and not a deviant. Also, Laz or Plaz?
Oh, plasma weaponry is much stronger than Laz weaponry, and Wee Tao can produce it much more safely than the Imperium can. So I would go Plaz.
I would go both. If you can do both, go both. And always you do the big explosion one. You know, risk it all. Risk it for the biscuit.
Okay. Well, I think, unfortunately, I'm still getting a lot more irritation in my nose, and I'm having trouble maintaining my voice. Oh, here we are. We have BGC Vatan. Go ahead.
Hey, look, what you've done is made us look like zealous idiots.
P.S. Kev, you're having Grandpa Aircast given your height and lack of muscle. Well, I'm not sure. Generally, as far as I know, we don't move out of cast, but it is what it is. Adrian Pius, would you like to respond?
Of course I'd like to respond. I am the intellectual pinnacle of the Imperium. It's why here, listen. I'm gonna BGC Vatan. This is a Cyrus Amani fan. You hardly even see him on the Vox waves these days. He's likely in hiding. But all right, who do you think won here? Let's ask the Vox feed. Who won the debate? Who's the greatest mind in the Imperium? Come on, let's go. Did I convince you?
I don't think you convinced anyone. I think you reinforced pre-existing biases.
Wait a minute. 2 for Kevin, 3 for Kevin. What? No, where's 1 for me? Both. Nomanicus won. You know what? Nomanicus did win.
Oh, that is absolutely true. Nomanicus is the winningest winner that ever won anything. Oh, we have a bunch of donations. All right, let's go ahead. Hawkins with this question. Yeah, what is your favorite mutant creature, like animals? Mutations often produce unstable forms, often suffering or deformities. I guess if I had a favorite, it would be one that has its mind intact, that we can still that isn't sort of addled to a point that there's not really a chance to interact with it or to help it. Donation from Mark Ashamed saying Adrian won.
Of course I won. Obviously I won. And of course, because he donated, it counts more.
Nick Fulton coming here.
Here, take this bee vomit. Wadrian won. What? Wadrian? Wadrian Wyus is not here. I am Adrian Pius. That charlatan has no place here.
All right, we have Hawkins. The Emperor, you heretics. He's the smartest.
You know, yeah, I'd put the Emperor on par with Nomanicus.
Yeah, I would say Nomanicus is pretty excellent. I'd dismantle the Tau Empire if Nomanicus asked me to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd do anything for Nomanicus. He's just so cool.
Okay, looks like we have a question from or a statement from Scrollkeeper. Kev, Gallus, and Noman are greater than Nomanicus. I can't accept that. I think that's absurd. I can't be greater than Nomanicus. That's not. That yeah. I think we declare Nomanicus the winner.
Absolutely. Nomanicus is the clear winner. He is the greatest hero ever to have known.
Yeah, and he's really good looking. He's really charming. He totally gets all of the girls. And I think we're getting a little bit of interference.
Oh, yeah. RNN, Rodent News Network, win. Yes, yes.
Oh, I wonder what that was all about. But I think that settles it. I think Nomanicus is the winner. I just want to, before we go, thank everyone who donated. Special extra thanks to the extremely generous one who only calls himself Man. Thank you very much for the very large donation. And very much appreciated the question. I think the trolley problem was a good thing to discuss.
Yes, I think that maybe Man is the one who should win. We got you know what? Man, Nomanicus. Was that the Nomanicus?
It might have been. Man himself might have been Nomanicus.
Oh, look, we have Man coming in right now. Adrian won the melee round with the punch, but fighting a Tau in melee is like an orc fighting a toddler. So he shouldn't score any points for honor.
I think we just got done discussing how Man is correct and might even be Nomanicus himself.
If that's the case, I'm ashamed. Maybe I need to become more like Nomanicus.
Or at least more like Man, who may or may not be Nomanicus.
Quite possible.
So I do thank all of you. Once again, if you're interested in joining the Discord, that is right here. I very much appreciate everyone who donated. Rose Spark, Hawkins, Nick Fulton, Mark Deshamed, BGC Vatan. We also, and Lorenzo also donated. Biggest thanks, of course, to Name. That was extreme, maximum effort, coming in with the Vespid, of course. Seeing if there's anyone else. Actually, I had to say, okay, I think that's everyone who donated, but extra big thanks to Man for supporting this debate, for supporting this Vox feed. That goes a lot to be able to keep things open. We have a final donation from Edwin Marin Castro. Go ahead. Just want to let you know, the Gretchens are attacking Adrian's ship.
What? I gotta go. I gotta go deal with that.
Okay, well, Adrian has to go and deal with his ship being invaded by diminutive greenskins. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Below is the link to the Discord, once again, for anybody who'd like to join. Thank you all so much for your support. This has been a lovely exchange of ideas. Or maybe it hasn't been so much lovely as it has been financially lucrative.
Yes, definitely. Definitely worth it. Not for cavorting with the Xenos, but for proving him wrong, and might need to re-examine my life if Nomanicus shot me down. Oh boy.
It's okay. Nomanicus doesn't like the Tau either. We both have a lot to work towards.
All right, so that's going to be it. I'm Adrian Pius, voice of the Imperium, and I'm signing off.
And I, of course, am Kev'aun Jones. I'm also signing off, and we hope to see you all again very soon. Farewell, and good luck.